Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Oscar, how are you doing?
Good. I think it's been a few months since I seen you, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It
Was it
was Mexico
trip
last
like
time.
expo in Mexico, right?
Yeah. How are you?
Good, good. Here, living the dream, working.
Living the dream. Oh my God.
Yeah. If
I
I
would
get
say
ready, you want to
nightmare
come
more than a
on?
dream.
Yeah, we'll get Renny on here and get started shortly.
Good. So where are you? Where are you in California?
I'm in Big Bear. I'm in Big Bear.
Okay.
Right here by Renny.
Hey, Renny, we can hear you.
How are you?
Well, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, you're
I'm surrounded by darkness already.
right. What time is it? Where are you at right now?
It's 8:30. 8:30.
Gotcha.
8:30, but I was in Europe till last Monday, so I'm still feeling kind of jet
Ooh,
lag, and
our daughter
Mexico.
leaves. She's been her dream vacation. She's 21 and just took herself on a vacation to Japan. So
Oh my God.
yeah, she saved the kid just worked her tail off. So she leaves Tokyo here in about 10 hours, and she goes and sees her daughter in New York for a few days, and she'll be home. So I'm sure she'll be feeling the same way. So good to see your face again.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too.
So Oscar, let me know that we're ready to go, and I think we got about a minute, and we're just going to ask you some good questions and just have a good time. It's like two buddies sitting around a campfire, and we're going to take it's more. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to take and give you a really good testimony because just today we are hosting a 5 day extreme PPF and window film training, and we're all over the sprayers on the residential side and commercial side of the window tent. And let me tell you, they work really good for that purpose. Whoever's, if you're into film, you need to be using the IKs because it was a real treat to have a real high quality sprayer versus the other guys.
I mean, I will let you know later on because we have in mind. I have to say in mind because it's on the table. But we are extremely busy with other projects. But one of them is to try to improve the triggers, and one of the reasons why was because PPF is growing and growing, and there are certain features that we would like to add to the range of triggers. So
Well,
yeah.
we'll talk about that right now. So I think it's time we'll launch this. So, hey, everybody, Renny Doyle Podcast, and we've got a really special guest on, and we're really happy to be bringing these series. These are partners and allies, and just great people from within the detailing industry. We're going to start up a new series here pretty soon. We're going to be showcasing you, the detailers, also not just manufacturers, but actual detailers. This is Oscar and Becky's idea to start showcasing them also. But tonight we've got somebody on, and I'll let him introduce you himself a little bit, and then I'm going to brag about both him and his company a little bit. We'll even talk about what we were just speaking of right now. You can't give a better testimony of what we're going to give today. So, my friend, introduce yourself.
Hello, good night, everybody. We know that most of you are in the West Coast, but I'm the fortunate being in the in the East Coast. I'm out of Boston, and uh, a lot of people knows me. I'm Ibon. I'm the guy that was back in 2000 set up a branch or a sister company of Goisper, a spraying company. And well, it was like three years ago now, exactly the day of today. They told me, you know what, Ivan, the business is growing. Detailers, American detailers love your product, so you better go move to the US.
Wow.
So yeah, it's how it started my dream. Since I was a kid, I was a basketball fan. I was like a Boston Celtic supporter, and
Wow.
I grew up with Larry Bird, with Robert Parrish, all these guys. So I said like I couldn't imagine that I would be living like 20 miles away from the TD Garden, right? So yeah, that was how I reached this marvelous country, and we didn't expect to be as successful as we are. We are growing and growing, and the reason why is because I think we found an amazing niche, and that is the auto detailing business, and especially the American market. So we found, and when we arrived was the right moment. The business, yeah, you can confirm it, but the industry was growing too. So it was the perfect moment. So they offered me like a three-year contract, and now they extended to 4 more years. So you
Good
have
for you. Congratulations.
and it's been
Let's talk
amazing being here.
We've used IK in our training centers for years, and we're just talking right before we started is that we have our PPF and window film, a 5-day extreme, where we're covering not just automotive PPF, we did automotive window tinting, and then we jumped into residential commercial today, and we have all the windows set up here and all the IK sprayers. If you're missing the boat, is we really took and had traditional sprayers, competition, and the quality was night and day. I mean, it's just night and day. We used everything from your big battery powered units all the way down to the hand pump units. I mean, we had them all scattered out, and then we had it with the guys. Guys, you got to use the cheaper ones. It was pretty noticeable on the better ones, wasn't it? Yeah. So they're all shaking their heads, yes, because they're still here. So you guys, IK, and I got a question that I want to ask you at the end of this, but you guys support the industry. You're great supporters. You really help move the needle within detailing. I think that the sprayers just aren't a garden variety. It's not something that you can go. It sets people apart, and we're really excited about this. But one of the questions that you came to the U.S., but what's IK? Does it stand for something, or is it just creative?
IK was, our company was founded in 1959, and mainly focused on agriculture and landscaping sprayers. So.
Right.
But they found it was a bunch of applications that needed something else. They needed like materials like more resistant, especially to acid-based products. I always say the same. At that time, swimming pools, they used to empty the swimming pools and clean all the walls every single year. Nowadays the technique has changed. They barely empty the swimming pools, but at that time they used to spray like muriatic acids on the walls. And we realized that they were using like our IK sprayers. IK was the name, was a model of landscaping sprayer, but it was like it used to be called Kima, Kima, and that was the landscaping version. But when we started to spray like an acid-based product, and we make the unit more robust using like more resistant materials, we create the industrial Kima. That's where the IK is coming. So it's industrial and Kima. So yeah, I was like more than 10, 15 years ago.
Wow.
15 years ago, we realized that there was acid-based products, but apart from acids, there were like high alkaline products. There were like solvent-based products. There was like a complete assortment of harsh chemicals that have to be sprayed in completely different industries. One of them was the automotive. Another one was the HVAC, for example, construction, pest control. So that was the reason why we decided to focus on chemicals more than in industries. So like at the end of the day, you're using more or less the same formulas, to do professional cleaning, to wash the cars, to clean the air conditioning units. So that was the beginning of the development of the complete assortment of sprayers. So that was the beginning. And after coming to the US, Americans are kind of picky and very demanding. So they told us, I still remember the first Shima show. I said, like, well, this is nice, but we need something bigger. That's like a toy sprayers. You need to produce and to design like bigger units. And that was the beginning of the success. It was a time that we had to adapt our designs to the American market, and we still keep on doing that. It's a very traditional market in which people, I mean, it's so difficult to change minds, and Americans, professionals, they do things, they use tools, they do in a very traditional way, but at the same time, they are hungry for new stuff, new developments, new designs, new. So we
I
thought
think
like,
don't you think though? I mean, we got SEMA coming up here, right? In just a few weeks. Your booth at SEMA, it's an interactive. I mean, who the heck? If you haven't seen their booth, and maybe people that don't pay attention, I just know booths, especially at big shows like SEMA, it's to get somebody's attention, especially somebody that goes to a lot of shows, right? Spent his whole career and life going to shows. That booth, I think I think it sells you guys because you're there showing everything, but you're not getting the floor wet. So the way you built it is there's containment underneath it, right? And I won't spoil it for people, but if you haven't been to SEMA or you haven't really paid attention to IK booth, go look at it. I think that's what I don't know. To me, it just speaks volumes about who you guys are. So let's talk about that journey to the US. You've got this global market. Share
yeah.
the ride. How complicated was it? An easy journey or was there a lot of bumps? I mean, you relocated. I mean, you came to a whole new country. Okay, you like basketball, but that in itself is a big challenge. I mean, just a lot of people don't like change, but here you're going, we're talking about moving to a different state. You moved to a different country. How was that?
It was not a bed of roses, I have to say.
I bet.
It was not a bed of roses. It was a process of learning, and because even I'm a European, right, and I'm used to to live in big cities, if I can say big cities, not LA, but it's and downtown. So I love cities. I'm not in the, and when I move here, I have to move to the, not the countryside, but I mean, to live in big cities in the US, it's kind of tough. Like I'm talking about New York or LA or Chicago or San Francisco. It's like so. First of all, getting away from the daily noise, the same people as Europeans and especially Mediterraneans, we are not used to go to bed at 8, 9. We are not used to have dinner at 6 or 7. It's like
Right.
and
Absolutely.
and here thing is like it's so dark, it's so cold,
Right.
so you just work and work, and you arrive home, you have dinner, you watch TV, and you go to bed till next day. So the way of living is a completely different way. I mean, is sometimes difficult to socialize. It's like it's one of the, I will say, one of the biggest difference between and especially I'm 52, and I was surrounded by friends, family. I'm the kind of guys that walk down the street, and say hi to everybody. And when you move to a different country, it's like you're unknown. So I was lucky. I was so lucky because I found in the detailing industry a bunch of nice people, and they immediately they opened their arms, and they welcomed me. That was actually helped me a lot, and I
That's
realized
awesome.
that it's a huge country, it's a continent, but the detailing industry is a family. I mean, it doesn't matter if they compete to each other. I'm talking about manufacturers, but they know each other. They share like meetings, like open days. It's like as I said, it's a family, and that make this process of adapting to a new life, a new country, it make it so easy. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it. I'm learning a lot, and from the professional point of view, it helped me and helped the company to develop a bunch of products, and every single day you see opportunities. That's the
Wow.
amazing thing of this market.
That goes
We
right
thought.
in. I think Oscar's got a really good question for you. So Oscar, shoot away into
I
that.
mean, yeah, I had a couple, but I mean, he already covered on, the innovation of IK and where it came from. Rennie touched on the SEMA stuff and your displays and how you guys are really thinking outside of the box when it comes to interacting. I mean, Rennie talked about SEMA, but also mobile tech.
Yeah.
I know a couple other chemical companies will probably be trying to do the same as you guys had set the bar for your booth and and how you're doing. But you coming out here to the States, how do you talked a little bit about, the struggles and everything and how it's so welcoming here, but how do you personally define success now that you're here in the States with detailers? As you said, it's a little bit more pickier here, but how do you define the success that you've already had here?
I said picky in the way of, I would say, demanding, because we thought, and actually, we have been very involved in the landscaping industry in Europe, and we work with most of the big boxes, like similar to Home Depot or Lowe's, but in France, for example. And all these big boxes, they want you to renew your range of products. They even have the color of the season, so you need to change the colors every single year, and every 2 years you have to sign a new contract, so you are forced to have new products. So when we came here and we got involved in the detailing, I thought, this is a very traditional market, and it's a very traditional business. People work with same tools, same chemicals, make wires, 3M, or like these old-fashioned brands. But no way, it's like it's
Mm.
a very active, and non-stop business and market. It's like uh, it was funny because I still remember first time at the SEMA show, we were like in the south hall nearby the drifting area, and in the middle of nowhere. You know how it
Yep.
works. I mean,
Yep.
if you have been exhibiting for years, you have like a nice booth in the middle of the most important players. But when you're new, you're in the middle of nowhere. So we were lucky because I still remember it was like a 10 by 10 booth, and with a roller, and I prepared like a tester to show the audience how with a small sprayer, like with a low pressure sprayer, you could produce foam. We were so lucky because, yeah, I always say we found the guys of the rack company, Adams, and they saw and said, and they watched at the foam and say, "What the heck? I mean, how can you do
Yeah.
it?" So where you been? So like, we are a small company, in the north of Spain, close to the French border, and say, "Hey, but this is fantastic product." So the idea of being interactive, that exchange with the audience, the way of using a sprayer, make it very easy. That was the beginning. After that, we rented. I still remember we rent a car, I had the idea of, hey, maybe if we have some trays under the car, we can spray all over the car and collect the foam, the liquid. But the first time the trays were not deep enough, so we didn't have time enough, to make the foam becoming liquid. So all the foaming was going out of the trays, and it was all the carpet was completely wet. It was a nightmare. But it's been a process of learning, and it's true that, as Renny said, it was like being an interactive booth helped us a lot, to show the people that these tools, these sprayers, they really work, and this is what you can do with a sprayer, And what we found that is very, very important is like, and especially after the pandemic, we were used to do calls, to visit corporations, to try to visit potential customers, try to schedule appointments, but after the pandemic, all this has been tougher and tougher, and we found that exhibiting and being present at the most important events in the different industries was crucial, right? Because we could meet the main players and we can show how our products work, So yeah, it's been having a quality product, dealing with the right people, educating the people. That is very, very important. When you teach the people how to use it, how to disassemble the unit, when you offer them the possibility, to buy spare parts, when you offer them the possibility to claim for warranty if something wrong, when they see you that you are behind the curtains, it's like, hey, you can grab the phone, you can dial my number, and Ibon is there, So all these help us a lot.
You cover a lot there. But I got to experience not only work with you, Mobile Tech, SEMA, but we see each other at Mexico City in Mexico and a whole other country. We're out there working. How do you manage to do the whole work-life business? And on top of everything you just talked about, it's a lot. You do a lot. And I've seen you at, 3 different trade shows now, 2 different countries that we've traveled to together and get to hang out. How do you manage
Well,
the work-life
hopefully,
balance and the
hopefully,
business? Because it seems like you're
well,
doing a lot.
actually, before coming to the US, I was responsible. I mean, I was working at the sport department of at Goisper. So I passed my life like traveling all over the world. Like in the last 25 years, I've been visiting different markets, opening new customers, new accounts, and trying to. But I have to say, like, in our headquarters, we have a marvelous team of people. That each one has an area of different areas, different markets in the world that they cover. So being successful in the States, that's another important thing, that being successful in the detailing industry, in the American detailing industry, opened us the doors of very difficult markets. Like I have to say, for example, Japan. Japan was like a ban or a forbidden market for most of the spray manufacturers. They like completely different designs, and due to our influence in the American industry, automatically open us the gates of the market, and especially being together with you guys, for example, and participating in events like the Air Force One detailing and all this, automatically brought us like a very good reputation, and people started to ask about, so who is IK? Why IK is so demanded in markets like the US? So we have been doing a very good job. We invest in the different markets. That's the most difficult thing, because we are not Coca-Cola, so our sources are limits. And when you have to prepare like marketing campaign, or you have to prepare like a packaging, or like a instruction guide for an spray, you see that ours is in like more than 15 languages, so like
Jeez.
it's great, but at the same time it's tough, because every single market need some kind of need to adapt the product, so but we are managing, and
So hey, I got a question for you. You just mentioned Coca-Cola.
yeah.
You guys aren't Coke. So you've got a lot of energy. You work very hard. I've gotten to travel the world, and I love coffee. So what's your energy passion? Is there something that you drink? Is it tea, coffee, or energy drinks that gives you this daily power, or do you even need any of that?
No, I did it. I'm getting older, and so yeah, I needed more and more. That was one of the big changes, In Europe, we are used to like small coffees, and when I came here, and I drive through every day to Dunkin' Donuts, or they give me like
Jumbo.
a gallon of coffee, So yeah, I've been a coffee drinker, and yeah, I keep on. I love coffee, and I like the way you do it in America. So yeah, it's been easy. The problem used to be when I still remember when we started with this project in 2016. I used to travel every single month to the US, and especially to Vegas or to the West Coast, because over there were most of the shows, and it was like a 9 hours time difference. And I used to, I was to fly on Sundays and start working on Monday, and you know I was the complete week. I was completely, out of. But I have to work, and I have to meet people, and I have to demonstrate my products. And so when I was getting used to the American time, I have to come back. So it was exhausting, at that time. But so that was a very good move. So like a very good move. I came here. There's not still you have some time difference, but it's manageable. It's
There you
manageable.
go. So I've got one more question before I turn it back over. I think Oscar's got a couple. If you had to go back to day one when you started this journey, what's one little piece of advice you'd tell yourself, that you give yourself? Now that you've kind of experienced this, you guys are having success, you've moved to a new country, you're growing the brand. What would you go back that day one and just nudge yourself a little bit with and say, hey, make sure you do this?
Perseverance. I think that you have to be perseverant. You have to be, and you know a lot about this. You have to, try to write down what you want, and try to, to write down where you're gonna reach, and work hard. It's like no matter if you have to work on Saturdays, on Sundays, you have to work like 12, 13 hours. I'm still have some of my colleagues, so like they got surprised because they got an email at 4:30 in the morning. I said like, hey, Bon, what are you doing? So like, yeah, well, I'm an early bird, and I have to, you have to focus. First of all, I think is that you need focus. You need to know what you want, and see. I mean, if you have the product, if you have confidence in what you're selling. Always been I mean, apart from the sprayers, I was involved in the hand tool industry years ago, but always was like, you need to have a good product, to have confidence in the product, and then be yourself. It's like I don't lie. It's like it's crucial that you need to, to feel people around you confident enough in your product and in you, and if there is something wrong, you have to be there. You have to there and you have to fix the problem. But as I said, perseverance, it's like you have to work hard, and doesn't matter the time. You have to keep on with your personal values. That's important too,
Amen.
and be trustful. Be trustful, Renny. That's the main.
That's good advice. Hey, yeah, Oscar, you've got a couple more than I got a couple more, so we're gonna fight over this. I'll give Oscar the next couple because I've got a couple good ones I really want to ask too. There's so many. We had to narrow this down for you because we wanted people to not, we want people to know you because of what you just said. You're the name, you're out there, and I think people getting to know you and what kind of character you are. I think that helps with the whole product and the whole brand, right? So Oscar, fire away, and then I'll fire my last couple too.
Yeah, I see a lot in the questions that I had prepared from them. I mean, knowing them,
Are you muted?
What's that? Can you hear me? No, I'm here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You good?
Got me?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just hearing your story again and knowing you for a few years now and seeing you at trade shows, a lot of the questions that I had prepared, just like you've already answered them, but I haven't asked them, so I'm still going to ask. But I mean, it's what's been one of the proudest, or actually, no, what's one of the business habits that you wouldn't give up as a business, like where you're at right now, that you would not give up, a business habit you'd never give up?
Business habits. Okay. I'm always thinking about. I was watching and always thinking about new opportunities. It's like it's a non-stop. And always try to something that really helped us. And it was difficult in another business, like in other sectors. It was like the contact with the end user. If you wanna develop or you wanna launch a product, you better need to to understand the needs of the user. That's crucial, and this is something that is it's so easy in the detailing because you're in direct contact with the end users and with the professionals, and listen to the professional. That's I think one of the most important most important things. It's like when you listen to them, when you understand their needs. And it used to happen to us, like we have the perfect design, like made it like with all kind of designing software, like from the point of view of ergonomics, it was the perfect tool. But when we have it and when we were going to the market, people didn't really like it. Why? Because they didn't test it, they didn't feel it, and it was a bunch of things that we didn't took into account. So one of the main points we can say is like listen, learn from the users, and taking into account, compile all the information, and test together with them, and you will be successful. That's the thing.
Like that. Rennie, you want to go on?
Yeah, so I'm gonna segue a little off of that. So the consumer market has grown. We like to say that detailing has become the new wrench. That people don't work on their cars and change mufflers out and give themselves tune up, but detailing, especially over COVID, changed all that. As people are back in their garages, they're working on it. I want to make it very clear this is not just a professional product, that these products these sprayers is that, in my shop, we had this beautiful shop. Believe it or not, I mean, this is my haven, right? I use these sprayers more on my amateur as a car guy than I do on the professional side because they make my life easy. I'm sitting here looking at my car. I don't need a full strength wheel cleaner. I can foam it on with the IK get a foam on there and gently clean my wheels like I like to do. So just if, there's car people, and I know there's enthusiasts that listen and watch this, and it's a lifetime product for you. I shouldn't say that because you guys want to sell sprayers, but they're so good that there's not, as long as you take care of them. I just want to make that clear, that it is. Have you guys seen an uptick with the pro consumer group that, the Matt Mormon group, so to say? Matt's a great guy. I think he's really changed this industry a lot. Have those kind of individuals, have you seen where people are coming around and you're seeing them in garages now?
Yeah. You're right. And that was one of the things that, it's probably something that makes the difference in the detailing market. It's like as you said, after or during the COVID, people start working at the garage, enthusiasm. But there is one important thing. It's like what in other business is like the DIY. So I mean, people that they just work on the garden in the and like during the weekend. They don't really need to have like the high top quality tool.
Right.
What happened with the car lovers or car enthusiasts is like they love professional tools. So they're not gonna buy the cheapest sprayer. They're gonna buy the best high pressure washer, the best range of chemicals, even though they're not gonna use them. But they looks nice, they provide you reputation, and that's the thing. People love quality, and they love to buy like say premium stuff. That's something that is completely different than in another sector or industries. If you want to buy like a drill, you buy like you go to how is the name of this cheapy big box, what's the name of this, it's Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight. You go there, you buy a very cheap drill, and that's all. You're gonna use it probably like a couple of times in your life. But in the detailing or in the this weekend warrior world, they love to have the best tools in the market. That's something really good for us. This is our sprayers. If you provide the proper maintenance and you do the proper cleaning, you're gonna have a sprayer for the rest of your life. Even though we recommend especially if you leave the sprayers out in the open air. So at the end of the day, they are like plastic. That they suffer continuous changes in the structure of the surface. If you keep like chemicals for extended periods of time, you need to renew the sprayers once in a while. But again, if you do the proper maintenance, if you empty the tanks, if you do the proper cleaning, if you test the safety valves are working perfectly, you're gonna have a sprayer for years. But that's one of the most amazing things that we are selling more and more and more. So like the sprayers keep on working. If you do the proper maintenance, you're gonna have for forever. But people, if you launch a new product, they buy it. Just because it's IK. And because they need to have the complete range of spray. Yeah.
I don't have. You can't see all the ones that we have here, but they're scattered behind us all over the place. Okay, so Oscar, so we got one question that we were kind of fighting over who gets to ask you. I segued in. So the whole attributes question. I think I'm gonna the qualities question, Oscar. I'm gonna give that one to you because I segued into the whole do-it-yourself DIY. So we fought over this one to ask you because it's a really good question. It's one of our favorite ones. We love to to ask our guests. So Oscar, I'll go ahead and forfeit this over to you because
I
I
mean,
asked it.
yeah, talking to about, the do-it-yourselfers entrepreneurs, this the reach that we have with this podcast, what qualities do you think every successful entrepreneur must have? Now I want you to kind of reach out to the public and say, in your opinion, what do you think, speaking to me as a small business owner, to the guys that are here, what qualities do you think an entrepreneur should have to be successful?
Huh. Well, you mean the features of the quality product that yeah, well, first of all, I mean, you need to have there's nothing universal, right? It's like there's not a product that I can say, this is in the case of the sprayer, this sprayer is for spraying all kind of chemicals. That's not. I mean, you could build it, but it wouldn't be affordable, because they are like super resistant materials, but they are extremely expensive, So first of all, each sprayer for each chemical, that's important. You need to use to double check the chemical compatibility, and you need to know if the product is an acid or is a high alkaline or is a solvent based product. So uh, you need to have some information about the chemical. You need to do some kind of research about where you're going to spray, and once you know about the chemical, you choose the right sprayer. You need to have resistant materials. You need to work with premium raw materials. That's crucial. I mean, in our case, and most of the sprayers are under pressure, so you cannot really use like recycled plastic. You need to have a premium high quality raw materials. You need to to implement systems to protect somehow the safety of the user, and some of the users are not professionals, and some of them, they are not using like personal protection equipment. So you need, even though we recommend always, to wear goggles, to use gloves, to work with, try to avoid like chemicals on your skin. We try to implement safety measures in our sprayers. Safety release valve, like different systems, different. So yeah, I will say like you need to work with quality raw materials. You need to protect the safety of the user, and from the point of view of the user has to get a little bit knowledge about the chemicals they're going to spray. When I see some people that they are spraying in the interior of the car really harsh chemicals, like with a very tiny droplet size, that they are breathing. I get a little bit, I don't want to say mad, but it's like, we should, from the point of view of the manufacturer and also the chemical manufacturer, we should teach, or we should send the message, like, protect yourself, and, try to, again,
Amen.
this is not Coca-Cola, right? So, if for whatever reason there is an accident, you can get damage, so unhurt.
We always say if it's on you, it's in you.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
safety, it's not going to hurt to be on the safe side.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not. So we've got a busy. We have a little break. SEMA's coming up, so go into you guys are in the North Hall, correct? At SEMA. So go find them. Go look at their booth. Have them show you the whole lineup of sprayers. You're going to be blown away. Take the time to have them walk you through each one of them, because you can't have just one. There's a purpose for, we've got, I think, every single model that you guys have ever come out with here, and each one still has a purpose, and
Yeah.
find that. Also mobile tech. So here, right, the first week of February, right, we're going to be down in Florida. So come find IK. And my friend, I want to thank you for coming on. But more than that, I want to, we want to really thank you for being such for producing a good product. Like you said, just right now, quality product, but for being a great colleague and for being so out to help the detailing. And it's not just so many companies just take and they withdraw from the industry and they don't put any deposits back in. And I want to thank you for all the deposits that you personally and IK put back in our industry, because we really do appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure, and I thank God, because I have the opportunity to, to know all of you, to know this amazing industry, and again, I said, this is a family, and I realized that everybody knows each other, and everybody helps each other, so that's the most important thing. It's a family business.
It is. Well, thank you for being on tonight. Go get some sleep. And
Thank you so much.
hey, last one? What's your favorite basketball player of all time?
I have to say, I mean, it was not a Celtic player, but yeah, it's Michael Jordan for sure.
Wow, there you go. That's a good pick. I don't think there's a lot of people that argue with you from that.
It's always like Kobe, Michael.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, have a good evening. And again, we'll see you here at SEMA. We're going to come by and say hi to you and spend a little time with you. And folks, if you're listening to this, don't just go see IK. Meet this man. He's a good guy. And my friend, it was an honor to have you on here. You take care. Have a great night. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for coming in. Happy detailing all. We'll see you next time.
Take it easy. Bye.